my friends. It is now time for the Soulful Psalms segment of Beacon of Truth. The Soulful Psalms is where you take one of the Psalms from the Sefer Telachim, or the Book of Sung Praises, from the wisdom literature of the Old Testament that we hear in every holy sacrifice of the Mass, and we connect that Psalm to your everyday lived experience. Well, today we're going to continue our look at Psalm 42. So Psalm 42 is in the first Psalm in Book 2 of the Psalms. Psalms 42 to 72. Psalms 42 to 49 are written by the sons of Korah. Right? Remember that Korah rebelled against Moses and Aaron in Numbers chapter 16. It says that the ground opened and Korah and his family went down alive to Sheol. The followers of Korah were swallowed up by fire from heaven, and the only ones to survive were the sons of Korah, not the biological sons, but those who chose not to join Korah in the Korite rebellion. We see them in Numbers chapter 26, verse 11. And so the sons of Korah were not only superintendents of the musical guild of the Jewish temple, they were also caretakers and custodians of the sacred vessels and vestments that were used in the temple. And as in Korah means baldness in Hebrew. So the superscript or prescript of the psalm simply says, Lemenzeach maskil livni Korah. For the choir master, a maskil of the sons of Korah. And so we're just going to pick up here at verse 10. So Korah, this is one of my favorite psalms. The beginning of the psalm says, like the deer that yearns for running streams, so my soul is yearning for you, my God. Right? Love that. But in Psalm verse 10, it says, I will say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning, oppressed by the foe? So again, this is one of the common themes in the songs. There's some kind of oppression. There's some kind of persecution that's happening. The person here at Sons of Korah writing the psalm are just expressing the humanity of the situation, that I'm going through something right now. Where's God? Where's God's peace? Where's God's help? Where's God's love? Where's His? I'm not feeling it right now. So this beseeching, this prayer of just reaching out to God. He goes, I will say to God, my rock. Right. So he sees that God is the rock, the foundation upon which his faith is built. And he says, but why have you forgotten me? So God, why? He's going to be. I love that. You know, they're so human. Again, these anthropomorphic images of God, like he's speaking to a father, speaking to a friend. Why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning? Why is this being allowed to happen, Lord? You know, again, not thinking that, you know, God in his permissive will allows these things so often because there's something we need to learn from it. We can be stretched and grow from this experience. Right? We talked about this the other day, like a rubber band. The only way a rubber band is useful is when it's stretched. So sometimes we have to be stretched spiritually. We have to be challenged in order to see God, to be able to trust him and see God working in and through this particular trying situation, in order that his love can bear more fruit in our life.
For more on the Psalms with Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, check out Beacon of Truth weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio and streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts.